Welcome everybody. Today we're going to be learning about what current vacations look like. So there currently are lots of people that are traveling in this COVID world, and there are many of us, including myself, who kind of really want to know what that vacation is going to look like when I am ready to travel. So before we do get started with the presentation today, I do have a few tips for any of our new viewers. This is a live presentation, so there can be moments when your screen freezes. Please be patient as it should correct itself within about 30 seconds. If you are viewing today on a handheld device, you may want to unlock your screen view and turn your device sideways to landscape mode, just kind of like that. I don't know if you can see that. There you go. All right, and we do also have a Q&A chat function that's available on the right-hand side of your screen. At the end of our presentation, we will have a Q&A session with our experts that are joining us today, so please post your questions in that chat and we will ask them during that session. So joining us today, we have Dina from Sunwing, plus we also have Todd on from Royalton Resorts. They're going to help us learn about what our new vacations are going to look like. So before we get into our questions, we have a short video to start us off to kind of get us in that vacation dreaming mode. Kim, if you can cue up the video.
Do you like going on vacation? Now that looks awesome.
Oh, that's such an awesome video. Definitely makes me feel like I need to go on vacation. So thanks so much for joining us today, Dina. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Oh, you might still be on mute.
There we go. Oh, well, thanks very much, Sherry. And thanks to the SellOff team for inviting me to join today. Yes, that video makes me want to go away too. I'm the Vice President of Sales for the Sunwing Travel Group, and I've been with the company it'll be 18 years next week. I've been in the industry for over 30 years, and even during this time of craziness and challenging environment, there's still no place I'd rather be. So I'm really excited about getting back to some of the Sunwing destinations, and I know that most of the viewers who have joined today are feeling the same way. So thanks for having me.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thanks for being here. So can you give us a little kind of overview about your Safe with Sunwing program?
Sure. Since the pandemic, first of all, we looked at, we repatriated tens of thousands of Canadians, and we operated hundreds of rescue flights, and then we got right into our plans for returning to service and implementing our safety standards and healthy protocols throughout the entire organization, as well as looking at the entire customer journey from start to finish. At Sunwing, our employees and customers' health is and has always been our number one priority, and now in COVID times, it's that much more of a priority. At Sunwing, we are in a very unique position. We have an advantage in assuring our customers' safety in that we are the only the only Canadian travel company that owns the airline our guests fly on. We own the destination management company and all the transfer buses, and we own dozens of hotels and resorts in the Caribbean, Central America, as well as Mexico. And so we actually, instead of me telling you more about the Safe with Sunwing, Kimberly, are you able to cue up that Safe with Sunwing video? And this will give the viewers a really good idea.
Although the world is resting at the moment, at Sunwing, we're implementing the highest safety standards across our entire operation to keep your family safe. With our own award-winning airline, ground transportation service, the fastest growing chain of hotels and resorts in the Caribbean, and 24/7 support from local Sunwing reps, we are truly with our customers every step of the way. As a Canadian family-owned business and the largest travel company in North America, only Sunwing can assure our customers safety throughout their entire vacation experience. And when Canadians can come together and enjoy travel once again, we are committed to ensuring you are always safe with Sunwing.
Oh, that's great. So can you give us kind of 3 things or 3 tips that travelers need to be aware of when they're flying with Sunwing?
So there are a number of tips I'd give, and of course with COVID, there's a number of new protocols to be aware of. But the first thing I would suggest is for any travelers, any of your viewers, to have a look at the Safe with Sunwing presentation that SellOff did on August 26th with some of my colleagues from the airline. It will take you through all of the airline and airport protocols and provide some great information. I would also encourage everyone to download the Sunwing app. We have developed our Sunwing app. Of course, we are now, everything is so much more touchless and contactless and gone to digital. So definitely there's some great information and tips before and during travel. I would also remind everyone that, of course, now we've all gotten kind of used to wearing masks, but definitely you have to wear a mask before you enter any Canadian airport. You will be required to wear it on the flight and during transfers and just until you check into your resort. But again, we're all getting used to the masks, so I would suggest, packing some tropical prints. It's going to be another accessory. It's another travel item, so have a little bit of fun with it. Pack your hand sanitizer and your wipes like you probably already do. And also a key thing is just to make sure that you have purchased comprehensive travel insurance. There is the COVID insurance with Manulife that I'm sure we'll touch on a little bit more at some point. So that's where I'd start.
Those are some great tips. If you did want to view that video that Dina was talking about, we do have it on our SellOffVacations YouTube channel, which is my SellOffVacations. And I think Pam is going to post a link to it in the chat. If you wanted to copy that down, you can also view that later at your leisure as well too. And there was great information in there. So I do know that when we're traveling now, there's different rules when you're wanting to travel to the destinations. Each country that you're going to has a new set of rules. Is there something that travelers specifically need to be aware of?
As we all know, the whole situation is very fluid, and we would always recommend that travelers speak to their travel agent about the specific destination that they're interested in. Many of our destinations, like Jamaica, Mexico, the Dominican Republic, a lot of them do have some similar protocols. They're all working together, to make travel and health and safety an absolute priority. Many of these countries have been welcoming guests for several months now. So they've got the procedures and the protocols in place. I was on a call today, you might have been on it as well, with the Minister of Tourism for Jamaica, and they've really done a phenomenal job there. And so I would say that you definitely want to stay up to date with the destination, but they're trying to make it just as easy for Canadians to travel to their destination as possible. And I was actually quite happy to hear 26 Caribbean destinations are actually right now welcoming guests to their destination. I think that what everyone should, realize as well is that all of these destinations are absolutely committed 100% to the safe and responsible return of tourists. And I think they're doing a great job.
Yeah, absolutely. So is there anything that I'm going to notice different when I'm traveling, especially on the transfer from the airport to the hotel?
Sure. There's definitely going to be some things that our customers are going to notice that is different, but I think they're going to be pleasantly surprised. Oh, is that video starting?
Yeah, but I don't think there's sound on it.
Okay,
I think
sorry.
we'll just talk over
That's
that
fine.
one.
That's great. So yes, they will be pleasantly surprised because first of all, there's not going to be quite as many people on any transfer coach because of course the numbers of passengers are limited for social distancing. We are also going to notice a lot of signage, the COVID prevention measures as well. All of the vehicles are being sanitized and disinfected in between all of the uses. So before you get on a van or a bus, it will be completely sanitized. You'll see hand sanitizer everywhere. All of our staff will be in masks, but they will still be there smiling behind those masks to greet you. And of course, our customers will be wearing masks as well. But I think that they've done a really, really great job. And so those steps are in place.
Awesome. What about private transfers? Would you encourage people to purchase private transfers?
COVID and safety aside, I would always encourage people to look at taking a private transfer. It's a really great way to start and end your stay in a destination. It feels kind of nice to have a sign and somebody waiting there, Smith party of 4. You walk over, they take your bags and bring you to your private car. It's not nearly as expensive as people would think. So I would say when you book a holiday, absolutely ask your sell-off agent, hey, what's it going to cost for a private transfer? And experience that sort of VIP service, but also another layer of safety.
I 100% agree. I did it once and I have never gone back. I've always purchased those private transfers, and you definitely do feel like a VIP when the guy's standing with your name on that placard.
Yeah, you do. And you don't have to wait for a bus to load up or any other, it's just your family.
Yeah, absolutely. So Sunwing has a ton of resorts throughout the Caribbean. Do they have a standard safety protocol that all resorts have to adhere to for consistency?
Yes. So yes, we do. The Sunwing product department, as well as our operations team, our in-destination teams and executive have been working on this for the last 6 months with all of our hotel partners to make sure that they can adhere to the Safe with Sunwing criteria and protocols. I just learned today we are actually going to be launching very shortly the Safe with Sunwing certified stamp or rating, so that when travel agents and customers see that, they will know that those resorts meet all of our health and safety standards, and that we feel very comfortable in recommending those resorts. And I would also like to add, and you probably know this, Sherry, and have seen this, all of the hotel resorts and companies, they have done just a phenomenal job. Everybody, this has been what they've been doing for the last 6 months. And, you know, the protocols that are in place in destination are really working. So, yeah, that's positive.
Great, great. So we do have Todd Kurlick, who's from Blue Diamond Resorts, or we know them better as Royalton Resorts, and he's joined us. I have some rapid fire questions for Todd about what's the vacation going to look like when I get to a Royalton Resort. Todd, how are you doing today?
Doing great today. Happy to be here and with all of our friends and sell-off clients.
Great, great. So are you ready for my questions? Fast and furious?
As ready as I'll ever be, my friend.
Okay, awesome. So are all your resorts open today?
So it's an excellent question. So obviously during this situation back since March, we, just like everybody else, we did temporarily close at one time all of our resorts. Several have since reopened, and it's great timing tonight, actually, because as of tomorrow, October 1st, we'll have approximately 17 of our resorts open throughout the Caribbean, Mexico, Dominican Republic, Cuba, with our last resorts scheduled to open with a firm date of December 1st. So some of our resorts down in the Eastern Caribbean will post a December 1st opening. We've been super careful with publishing these dates and only opening when we knew we were ready, when the destinations were. So yeah, we're looking up. So we're quite excited about that.
That's really great. So question, people have been asking this. I want to know, when I'm on the beach and I'm lounging around, do I need to wear a mask on the beach?
This is a question we've been getting. Obviously, it's an everyday question several times. And as Dina and you actually highlighted earlier on in the calls, various jurisdictions have different protocols when it comes to this. But on the properties, we do have the ability to set our policy. So while we recommend face coverings, just as we are doing here in Canada, public spaces, going about, you are not required actually to wear a mask when lounging about the resort, when you're sunbathing, dining, doing some of the activities. You do not. This is a personal choice. Okay, so that is an excellent question, and I think it's just common sense should prevail, and just like it is here, and that's what we're going with. The great thing about it, a lot of our resorts are wide open spaces. Most of the imagery folks that you're seeing here today are Planet Hollywood Royalton family of resorts, and we're blessed with having space. And so we've been able to really, this has not been an issue, and that's an excellent.
Okay, and what about buffets? Am I still going to be able to enjoy the buffets? Because Royaltons have the best buffets.
Well, so that is the second most popular question, so I was ready for that one. So the term buffet for us is really something that we've taken to another level, as you just highlighted. We call it our gourmet marché and our Royalton brand, and obviously we've got different restaurants that we brand differently with our, let's say, our all-day or our buffets. So we've always practiced what we call a show cooking model in our buffets. So really, it's a we serve mentality anyway. So guests will go around with their plates. A lot of the stuff is cooked to order. Certainly throughout the day, you go through the perimeters of the room and you see all of that. Our desserts have always been we serve. Much of our stuff is always been. So we didn't really have to make huge adjustments. In the center island areas, this is where now we have a staff member that is equipped with PPE that will be obviously distributing the food that each guest would like. So that's about 30% really of the space, I would say, on average. And it's really good, and it's actually quite responsible. It cuts down on food wastage. I'm not to say anybody overeats, but
never,
I'm just saying I think it's a little more civil, and it's working just fine. And the variety is there, and honestly, it's been great, better than expected.
Great. What about the check-in? I know one of the things with Royalton is you have sometimes the nice check-in process. It's a leisurely check-in process. Is that process the same?
So our check-in, so we've, our CEO has actively taken a kind of a real interest in this part of it too, because we are always trying to cut down on the interactions that guests, might have to take. We've installed in many of our resorts now electrostatic sanitizers in the receptions, where you go right up to your elbow when you come in, where it just completely sanitizes before you do your registration. You can see here, this imagery is fantastic. Really, we've already got the key cards, so we have the RFID bracelets that are your keys. We also have online pre-registration, so our guests can go online prior to their arrival, and they can actually fill out a lot of the stuff online digitally. Now, it's not an actual check-in, but what it does do is it cuts down when you get to the resort of handwriting and waiting and manually doing some of the stuff. So we've really tried, so it has changed actually, and not only because of COVID, we've always been looking to do these kinds of things. So we're cutting down greatly on it. You saw some great imagery too with check-in, with obviously all handbags are sprayed upon arrival along with your luggage as you go into the reception. It's very civil and it's quite orderly. So it's a great question.
Awesome. And what about chairs by the pool? Are there less chairs? Am I going to be able to get a chair? Are they distanced apart?
Well, that's a very good question. You see here our day beds here, our Bali beds here. They've got great distancing there, perfectly fine. So we've, again, being blessed with quite a bit of space, we've been able to, we do maintain the same amount. It's gauged to occupancy, obviously,
right.
But yes, we do. We don't have an issue there. You're able to have your beach chairs by the pool. Sometimes people will kind of shift over a little bit, with people that are in their bubble, if they're kind of moving over. We do set them out each morning. We do try to police it to keep people kind of at safe distances. But again, that's now, and that's what we're speaking as of today. So, yeah. I mean, yes, we've got no issues with that right now. People are not having an issue, certainly finding loungers and chairs. That has been a little bit of a different operational element because we have had to. But you see, that's a great image there. And you can see there, we've moved. Now, that's an older image, obviously, but we've been able to, we've got plenty of space. We've got lawns there that we've also been able to put some of the chaise loungers onto the lawns, which are kind of in between the beach. That's a Royalton Riviera Cancun image there, for example. So we're really blessed with having space to be able to do this, folks. Really, we are.
Yeah, and I would say, having been at the resorts before, much of the lounging area is already spaced apart, so that you never felt like you were having a conversation on top of someone else. Agreed.
Right.
Yeah. Absolutely. So now my next question: can I use my own refillable water bottle?
Well, that's a good question. And so right now, we do know that in some of the resorts, we have seen a decline. When speaking to somebody this week on resort and operations, they said they've had actually quite a bit less. So I'm not sure if some guests are just kind of not going with that model, but we know some people want those refillables. That means less visits to the bar, right? Obviously, or maybe not in some people's case, maybe not my case, but yes. So it is done on a per outlet basis. We are seeing it happening. We don't have an absolute policy on that. In fact, that's not really even a specific operational policy, but it's a Canadian thing, and we do know a lot of people love that. So I would definitely, if that's something you want to do, take it down and give it your best shot.
Okay, awesome. And what about the restaurants? Are the restaurants all open at the resorts?
So the restaurants are all open, gauged on occupancy.
Right.
And that's something that is, so for example, we're able to have a guest arrive today for 7-night period. If the resort is at a lower level of occupancy, they will get to experience all the restaurants. It just might not be every night the same one. So as we ramp up our occupancies, we will have all our restaurants obviously open all the time. But the great part about having a variety of restaurants is, if we're going to say have a staple restaurant like a Hunter Steakhouse out of Royalton open, would probably be like on a 4 out of 7 night basis. And then we've got so many other choices that certainly everybody would be able to enjoy their favorite one. And of course, as occupancy goes up, we'll need all our restaurants open. Our Planet Hollywood, of course, we've got celebrity chef Guy Fieri's burger joint that's open. People are enjoying that. We've got lots of great items. There's no shortage of food. Room service is available. So it's good stuff.
All right. Okay. What about, is there anything else at the resort that might be closed? I know some of the resorts have water slides. Some of them have the kids club, the kids camp. What about those amenities?
So this is a great question too. And I guess, we're maintaining what we're calling a full level of service. Now, that could be that we've shortened by a couple of hours a certain water park, maybe in the day. Maybe we're not open. Like I do know that we could have like a 9 to 4, for example, at Royalton Splash, where we've just kind of tried to reduce it a little bit, but the hours just for now. But that's also gauged on occupancy. Our kids clubs, a lot of the times, we have arts and crafts where we take kids in and they're in these small tables. We've temporarily suspended some of that indoors. We take it out into the outdoor areas, and we're doing a lot more, exploring outside, doing things like that. But again, it's still a full array. They won't really do without. Certainly, the video games and such are done on a very limited basis now internally, inside. But there's no shortage of things. So the water features, lazy rivers, pools, they're all open, and ready to welcome everyone.
If I'm going south, I'm spending my time outside. That's for sure.
Yeah, well, and I think that's something great. And to be quite honest with you, most of the time, and I've been visited the resorts many times, the inside stuff really, it's there to kind of check in. The parents drop the kids off, they get their pagers, and a lot of time the first thing they do is they go outside to the closed-in courtyard area that might have the adventure playground, it might have the little climbing wall, those kinds of things. Those things are, we're still able to do those things on the exterior, the outsides, and they're doing a lot more stuff, on the beach and collecting shells and doing scavenger hunts. They're doing a lot of stuff.
No, I mean, I'm going down there for the weather, so I want to make sure I'm enjoying all my time outside. That's for sure.
Agreed.
So the beaches haven't changed. We still got the same great beaches, right?
The beaches are the best part, I guess. When people will talk about just a need to get away coming out of this, these beaches are ready and they're waiting. They're waiting for people, and we're ready also. And I think that there's not going to be any issues there. We've had actually quite good weather. Not really had a lot of issues that we might have had in prior years. Sometimes when you read about sargassum and things like that in some areas, we've had a very, very good run. So the beaches are in all of our locales quite good right now and ready.
Great, and the ocean breeze hasn't changed, so that's a plus in my book.
My hair will still wave in the wind, I can assure you.
All right, and my last rapid fire question for you: are your resort staff happy to be back working? That
is a question that not only our travel professionals, consumers, people like us, all of us here on this call and our colleagues, it's been a very long haul for all of us too, and our consumers on the call, and which is part of the reason why, the number one answer when people are asked about what they want to do coming out of this is travel is such a high part of the list. And our employees, in some of these destinations, you can well imagine developing countries, they're overwhelmingly happy to be back. It's so important to them to be able to provide for their families. And I think for us, as consumers in general, I mean, to know also that, we're getting something out of it. We're going on vacation. We're going to have a blast. We're helping people. And, honestly, there's no greater gift really than, taking part in that. And it's something that I can tell you the appreciation that they're showing. And I communicate with the resorts daily and people and some of the teams, and they're just so pleased and so happy that, that they see a light at the end of the tunnel. While every day is not, I know across Canada, we see different things happening. The one thing I tell everybody, while it's a very serious situation, we know that it's not forever. So we have to keep moving forward, and definitely you're helping a lot of folks out if you make a booking to get down there.
Awesome. So have you had any feedback from any recent travelers? Have they said, are they liking the things that are going on at the resort? What are they saying?
Well, I definitely, in the early days, we definitely got some feedback. The first few days, we were all waiting because it's a big unknown. And we got some good results early on, good feedback. But, just a couple of weeks ago, we were able to get down and do some filming at one of the resorts. And I think we've got a little video here that we can show. And this is authentic as authentic can be. These are just real folks that we stopped, and take a look if you can.
Okay. Kim, if you can cue that up. I'm not sure what happened to the video.
Okay.
We'll give it maybe one more try, Kim, if you can see if you can cue that video up.
Yeah, give me just one moment here.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, if we get this video going, that's great. But, in general, we've had so many people that have just had so much many complimentary things, just how the staff are all, just kind of bending over just to satisfy them, make sure they have all the needs of what they get. It's just a whole different vibe now. The appreciation for humanity has changed. I think that people are happy to be there. Staff are really willing and to go the extra mile. Not that they weren't before, but yeah, it's been quite gratifying, I think, for us to be able to call people back.
I think it's going to go.
Yay.
Yay.
I'm having a fantastic time here at Royalton.
Yes, very much.
Very, very much.
We're enjoying our stay so much. There's so much to do, so many amenities, so many pools. There's just, it's so fun for every single person. So we're just enjoying it so much.
Yes, we are enjoying our stay very much. The staff has been nothing but friendly. Accommodations are outstanding. The food is excellent. You couldn't ask for anything better.
I am enjoying my stay at Royalton. We actually got here yesterday. It's been so beautiful. What's really nice is that the beach is right next to the easy access to the pools, beach, want to go. And we've really enjoyed it so far. Staff is very accommodating. Anything we need, we've gotten.
Feel very safe.
Yes.
Yes.
Very, very safe.
There's so much protocols in place that I don't have to worry. I just pay attention and look at everything that's going on, and I feel super safe.
Very much so. You guys have done everything you can to make everyone feel safe. The staff always wears masks. The restaurants take your temperature. Rooms are disinfected before the guests arrive. You guys go out of your way to make everyone feel safe.
I think just them making sure that they clean everything, sanitize everything, wipe everything off, makes us feel like everything is safe for us to spend.
Yes, I do. All the staff wears masks or face shields. I really like the social distancing factor. All of the restaurants are like 30% right now, so you're not sitting like very cramped up in the restaurants, that kind of thing. Yeah, safety protocols are definitely in place here.
The distance, social distancing, yeah.
Yes, each staff member makes sure that the safety protocols are relayed to each guest. We're keeping social distancing, and it's been a great stay with safety regulations.
There's many safety protocols in place, and it allows us to feel very safe. My family and I feel 100% safe here at Royal.
Temperature
The
check.
temperature check is fine. The hand sanitizers are always good.
Yeah, the way you guys disinfect the rooms before the guests arrive, there's even, you guys go through the entire room, make sure everything's clean, the way you take the temperatures of the guests before they go in the restaurant, you guys go above and beyond.
I mean, everything, we feel comfortable coming here, so.
Yes.
Yes, so the safety measures here are fantastic. I really feel like it's not overcrowded here. I feel like I can actually breathe, and COVID's not even a thing here. That's what I feel like. Everyone's wearing a mask, like I said. Yeah, people are really taking measures for people to be safe and healthy here.
Yes, definitely.
Yep, I certainly would. We're planning our 20-year reunion next year, and we've already invited all our friends and family to join us. This is the only place we ever come to when we go to Cancun.
Yes, of course. This is a very relaxing. I feel like this would be a great place for a honeymoon too. I saw you guys have a wedding venue. It looks really cute.
I do. I'm actually here with my friends right now, and it's perfect. We're on a girls' trip, but I could also see myself taking my family here. It's very not over the top. It's quiet. You can get the best of both worlds here, and it's just all around amazing.
Of course, we probably will be back to visit. Oh, absolutely. This is our third time.
There's no mistake coming here to Royal. There's no mistake, and I will definitely recommend it to my family and friends. 100%.
All right, that's great. Great video. Todd, Dina, I did put you on mute, so you may have to unmute yourselves. Now, Dina, I have a question for you, and I'm wondering, and a lot of the agents that we have at the sell-off offices, they tell me that a lot of consumers are asking, what would happen if a customer did develop a fever or COVID-related symptoms while they're in destination? Would they be denied boarding on their departure home? those are sort of the things that are on people's minds. I don't know if you can speak to that a little bit.
Sure, absolutely. And I think we might have had that question come up in the feed while we've been on, so
Okay.
probably can address it now. So yes, first of all, there's definitely in every destination there are protocols in place, and I want to assure everyone that we have our destination teams everywhere. We've got 24/7 assistance, whether it is on the Sunwing app or going to sunwingcares.ca and clicking on in destination if you ever need any assistance in any way. We also have recently partnered with Medcan, which is a global medical company that does consulting for all kinds of businesses. And we have our own chief medical advisor on staff, Dr. Nord. And so we are getting all of the expert advice. And I think that is something that is comforting to most people. But with regards to the question of what would happen if you showed up at the airport in Cuba or in Cancun and you had a fever or were showing symptoms of COVID, if you are determined to be inadmissible into Canada as a result of the airport screening, you would be denied travel, you would be denied boarding, and you would not be able to get on a flight for 14 days. That sounds a little harsh, and we are hoping that's not going to be the case. I haven't heard of anybody at this point having to go through that situation, but in the case that it does, the local health authorities would then be involved, and you would be directed to also to the Canadian consulate. You would be required to present a medical certificate.
Right.
And this is actually the same situation where if you were denied in Canada, to get on that flight, it would be 14 days before you were allowed to travel again. The local authorities in destination would advise you on additional steps. Our team would be there to help with any assistance with regards to booking stays and additional flights, return flights. And then again, we would certainly recommend that everyone make sure that they have the proper insurance coverage, and which is readily available now for any incurred expenses for a longer stay.
Okay, that's great. What about if I'm prior to travel? Is there any flexibility? So if prior to travel, if I'm turned away because I'm ill, prior to departing, I should say, Canada, is there any flexibility in changing my dates or anything like that?
Absolutely. So that's one of the positives I think that has come out of the COVID situation, is that travelers need flexibility. And of course, with COVID, we've had everything, all travel companies have implemented more relaxed terms and conditions. So yes, if you were supposed to go to Cancun on Saturday, on Wednesday, you're showing symptoms of COVID, absolutely, call your sell-off travel agent. They will call us. We would make arrangements for travel to happen at a later date. And again, that wouldn't be able to be within the 14 days. And that's not our rule. That's a government rule. But absolutely, nobody wants to be traveling. They're not going to be permitted to travel. So the flexibility is there.
Okay, great. Todd, I have a question for you on sort of the lighter end. I heard that you have a great sale on. It's an anniversary sale of some sort.
Well, that's great. Yeah, I mean, we do. And this is something that's really neat because, not only, are we, this is our 10th anniversary and it's supposed to be a celebration. So it is. It just happens to be happening in this crazy time. But what I'm telling people is that one of the great things about it is we would have had a sale anyway. And now coupled with this, there is no better time, honestly, to jump into a luxury vacation, folks, with Sunwing through your SellOffVacations travel advisor, because you've got our great brands like Royalton, we've got our Planet Hollywood, Memories, Royalton Chic, and more. There's just so much really to lock in on a great price right now. You have very minimal risk, because there's options after you book. So get something on your calendars and, have something to look forward to. We have only a couple days left.
Yeah, if you're comfortable going, they're outrageously low rates that I've never seen before. And I believe your sale is on until the 2nd of October.
That's right. And after that, folks, we're watching. We're really trying to maintain a very, a positive space in the marketplace with our pricing. So please, take a look, talk to your vacation advisor, and just get some ideas. If it's not now and you're planning something in, midwinter, great. But, I'm telling people, try and get something on the calendar. Everyone needs something to look forward to. And now with these offers that we have, and, with the hope that by, certain periods of time, we begin to return to some forms of better normalcy. But there's nothing stopping us now, but let's just all move forward.
All right, great. So thank you both, Todd and Dina. Thanks so much. We're going to move on to the Q&A section. And Shannon, I believe you've been looking at the questions that the viewers have been putting into our Q&A chat, and you may have some questions for Dina and Todd.
Yes, I do have a few for them, for sure.
Great.
I know that video of the Royalton made me want to get away if I could, so I can't wait for that day to come. I'm sure all of us feel the same way. So Dina, I'm going to start with you, if that's okay.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Just have a few questions for you. The first one here, Dina, someone said, are people actually booking a vacation right now? And if so, who is booking? Families, couples, retirees, etc.?
Well, yeah, absolutely. There are people that are booking. We, with the introduction of the insurance a few weeks ago and the Royalton sale, actually, Todd, just to let you know, just got an email that a couple of the dates are sold out on the Royalton sale. So that was great news. So yeah, people are booking. Yeah, people are booking. Awesome. People who have some flexibility and can work around a 14-day quarantine. So for the most part, we have a lot of young retirees that are choosing to travel right now. We have, we recognize not everybody's going to be ready to travel and to book. Everybody's in a different phase, but right now, with the introduction of insurance, that was something that a number of people in our Sunwing community were waiting for, and then they were waiting for a great rate. So yeah, there's definitely not as many families right now because of school, but definitely there's, as Todd said, looking for people need something to look forward to. The health benefits, just the act of booking a vacation and having something to look forward to. And I'm right with you, Sherry, on the beach. Those and Shannon, those videos. And looking at those people, I definitely am looking forward to going as well. We are also, there's another group of people that are they were ready to book and but not to travel right now. It's they're looking at January, February. We know winter's coming, and we've gone from plus 30 temperatures. It won't be long before we're looking at minus 30 temperatures, and that changes some motivation for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much, Dina. Another question here, kind of a fun question, actually. Someone said, Dina, if you could snap your fingers and be somewhere down in the Caribbean, where would you end up?
Oh, you know what? Today, I would be on the beach at the Royalton Negril. Nice. I just love that beach. I love that property. Listening to the Minister of Tourism today speaking about Jamaica, I'm just so ready to go. So that's where I'll be. Yeah.
I'm just going to interject in here. The Royalton Negril is absolutely my favorite. And it is because of the beach, and it's because of the view when you walk into the lobby. All you see is that beach and ocean. I just think it's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. No, I definitely missed my trip this year, and first time in about 20 years I haven't traveled, so I think lots of us are feeling that right now. Another one here for you, Dina.
Sure.
Someone said, I have a Sunwing travel credit from a trip that was canceled in May. Do I have to book the same resort that I was booked for, or can I go to a different island and destination?
Absolutely. You can book whatever you like. So if you changed your mind on where you were going and somewhere better has come up, complete flexibility to choose.
Okay.
Yeah. We are actually finding, and sorry, kind of back to that other question of who's traveling and what people are booking. We are seeing a lot of our mutual customers rebooking resorts and destinations that they have been to before and loved, because they don't want a lot of unknowns and uncertainty. So, we have in this Royalton sale, we have a lot of customers who are previous Royalton customers. So. People like that comfort level as well.
Absolutely, already familiar with it, so they trust in the brand. So, perfect. Thanks so much, Dina. I might come back to you, but I'm gonna pop over to Todd now.
Sure.
Okay, Todd. Someone asked, you guys have a new resort opening in December, I think, called Planet Hollywood Cancun. Is it still going to open given the COVID situation? I hope so, as it looks amazing.
Well, yes, the hotel is definitely going to open. Regrettably, obviously, we did have to have a temporary shutdown of that construction project when we were scheduled to open in May. So obviously that wasn't going to occur, but we did get back on track, and that hotel is full steam ahead. I had some colleagues there just today. I got some really cool shots sent to me. It's in a very advanced stage of its construction now, and it's a brand spanking new, wonderful property that, this year I've seen the pricing. It is opening on December 15th. We know that for sure. And so, again, there's nothing wrong with going with new. And I mean, you might be the first people, if you start going in those early days, not only locking into, a real fair price, you're going to experience something really, really new. And that is, obviously brings all the Hollywood memorabilia. We've got some fantastic amenities at this property. Definitely take a look on SellOffVacations and Sunwing to take a look at what we've got there. This is just a sprawling new product with such really neat stuff. So yeah, it's opening, and we know that for sure. We are in the due diligence stage. The furniture's been delivered, containers are ready. We're going.
Perfect. That sounds amazing. I can't wait to see it myself sometime. That's perfect, Todd. Someone else asked, my husband works in the hotel industry here in Canada and says that in Canada there is significantly smaller work staff, and therefore cleaning protocols may not be as they should be. Are the resorts with Royalton all fully staffed as they would be in normal times?
So that's an excellent question. And so we have been gauging, just like any business would, in a recovery or a new property, we're bringing our staff levels. We've got very specific standards with occupancies and the amount of people work. It's the same as a business here in Canada. So in our initial stages in reopening, we have a little bit extra staff to get these, because some of these hotels have been closed, obviously, for several months. So we do have, extra staff come in. Obviously, lots have to happen during the closures too, because you've got to run your HVAC. You have to run a lot of regular maintenance was still occurring during these hotels, during the closure periods. But in terms of the cleanliness, in terms of sanitation, we've never had issue at our products there. You have to remember too, we do operate in areas of very high humidity. And as such, we've always been very, very guarded on that. All of our Royalton resorts have the Royalton Dream Bed, which are hypoallergenic sealed mattresses that prevent, that are just work really, really well in these climates where we've always been cognizant of the areas we operate. So we don't spare expense in terms of that, because we know that we're not going to have a returning guest, guest experience poor. We're not going to get a returning guest. So we're really, really cognizant of that. It's a really good question. And the truth of the matter is, if you've got 30% occupancy, you're not going to have 100% staff that day, but we always have more than enough in terms of that. That is something that guests need to see every day. As those, when you saw some of those testimonials, everyone made comments on how they're always cleaning. You're always seeing stuff. All of us that have been to a Royalton, perhaps some of our great customers here on the call today have been to a Royalton. We've always deployed this. People have always been impressed with the way the cleanliness works. Hand sanitizer has always been used at every entrance of every meal at our resorts. You always have to open your hands up and you get ready. And we've been doing that since our inception in 2012. So yeah, it's a good question. I understand it well. Rest assured that we're taking these things very, very seriously.
Yeah, and someone actually specifically mentioned the rooms on that testimonial video as well, how impressed they were with the cleaning.
Inside out approach, the 360. Yeah. I mean, I won't get into a sales pitch here, but we're with you every step of the way. We mean it. I mean, when you talk about the Sunwing Travel Group and the whole vertical integration, as Dina highlighted earlier, if I'm a consumer, and I am a consumer, and so are many of us, if I can get on a Canadian airplane, get on a transfer bus owned by a Canadian company at the other end, get to a hotel that's managed by a Canadian company that owns and manages it, and take my excursions again with proper insurance, good protocols. That's about the best decision I think we can make. I mean, we're all in it together, and I think that this is something that that is hopefully going to work out well for us.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Thanks so much, Todd. Dina, I did have one other question come in here for you. Someone asked, "Are you able to have refreshments on the plane?" Is that something you're able to answer?
Yeah, you are. When it comes to food and refreshments, yes. I mean, you have to keep your mask on, but if you are eating or taking a sip, obviously you can take it off. But other than that, your mask is on the whole time.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Perfect. And then I'm just going to pop right back to you, Todd. This will be the last question for the evening. Someone asked, "What is the policy of the Royalton if someone shows a temperature at the hotel?"
Well, so, that's a very good question. So again, as we're operating in we've got our own corporate policies that are in place, plans are in place. Different countries have different protocols in terms of, as some guests have mentioned, we do take temperature checks entering dining rooms. These things can occur. There's an automatic procedure that goes. We do have in all the resorts, without going into too much detail, these plans are about these, we do have detailed plans available for folks, but we do have areas where medical staff on property, always 24/7. This has been beefed up in order to triage, just to take a look. Sometimes a fever can be, for various reasons, but they do obviously get shuffled off and all the checks are done, the tests done. They're obviously going to go into an area where we've got areas, guest rooms that are going to be held back for, a bit of a quarantine period just in order to be safe. But we've not had these issues at this point that I'm aware of. Will it occur? We know that we're going to be ready. And again, with obviously our tour operator partner, Sunwing, with the protocols that we have in place, these things will be, dealt with. And obviously it's got to be timely and it has to be taken seriously.
Yeah, absolutely. Perfect. Thanks so much, Todd. And Dina, I just had one more question come in. So if you had a second, I'm just going to pop it over to you. Someone said, "I live in Ontario and am an essential worker. Under Bill 195, my employer can cancel my vacation with zero notice. I am concerned about booking and having no recourse if I have to work. Are there any options to address this possibility?"
Ooh, yeah, that's a tough one to have your vacation pulled back quickly. But yes, the worry-free, I would purchase the worry-free insurance, which allows you to be able to cancel up to 3 hours prior to your departure. And that's going to give you the maximum flexibility. And thank you to that essential worker and all essential workers who have just been incredible through this crisis. And I do hope that person gets on a well-deserved vacation. This year, I don't think it's not also about wanting a vacation. I think that there's so many people that are absolutely going to need a vacation. So,
absolutely. Yeah, for sure. And I know we as SellOffVacations agents can't wait to help them start booking those trips when they're ready. So, and Dina, one more quick question, and this will definitely be the last question for the evening. Someone said, "Does the COVID insurance supplied by Sunwing cover the cost of extended stay if denied return travel?"
Oh, you know what? I would definitely, yes, it does. But for the specifics, you know how complicated insurance is. You definitely want to look at the maximums and really know. But yes, there is coverage. And that insurance is actually a Manulife product. So the full details are available, I believe, on the SellOff site as well as ours as well.
And we're open right now. You can give our agents a call, and they have all the info on that as well with the benefits. So that's perfect, Dina. Thank you so much, everybody. That was really great information. Again, I know I'm ready to travel whenever I can. So I'm going to put it back to you, Sherry.
Okay. Thanks, Shannon. And thank you, Dina. Thank you, Todd, so much for joining us today. We really appreciate having you here.
Our pleasure.
I know that everybody, myself included, had lots of questions about what traveling right now is going to look like. And you guys really provided some great answers to help me and hopefully our viewers become more comfortable with traveling again when we're all ready to go. So thank you. A great big thank you to the viewers who've joined us today. If you have posted a question and it didn't get answered, Shannon and Pam are going to be on the chat function for about 10 minutes after the presentation to answer those questions. You're also more than welcome to call SellOffVacations tonight, as Shannon said. We're open till 9 p.m. Eastern tonight, and you can reach one of our agents at 1-877-735-5633. They are definitely very knowledgeable with that Safe with Sunwing protocols. They're knowledgeable about that new COVID policy that Dina talked about as well too, and they can answer any of your questions. They definitely love to talk travel, so they're happy to talk travel to you, whether you're ready to travel right now or you're going to be traveling later. Okay, so our presentation today is going to be posted on our YouTube channel. Probably it takes us about 24 to 48 hours to get it posted up there. As well, you can view any of our past presentations, and our YouTube channel is My Sell Off Vacations. We also have all of the latest resort and airline and COVID safety videos. Actually, I believe we have pretty much almost all the videos that you saw today up there. So you would be able to see the testimonial, as well as we have a testimonial, I think, for the hideaway section of the Royalton Resort as well too, if you were interested in that. And next Wednesday, just to give you a heads up, we will be talking about traveling as a group. So we're going to be talking about from wedding groups to family reunions to girls getaways, even our most popular type of group, which is small groups of 6 to 9. We're going to answer all your questions on planning for when you're ready to reunite with your group of your bubble. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. Talk to you later. Bye-bye. See you next week.
Thanks very much, everyone.
Thanks.